kind of woman. I wonder, did you read Wayward Women by Saidiya Hartman?
Never heard of it. Wayward Women is a book?
Yeah, she actually won the McGenius Award, and I think she won a lot of other awards too. She's a really great scholar. I think she's a sociologist. But basically, she wrote a woman, and she uses a methodology called critical fabulation. And basically, because Black women have always been nameless in the archives, they don't say their names, and they don't really tell our stories. What she did was take like newspaper articles, arrest records, all of these things, and then once she put them all together, she basically did a fabulation of what she thought their lives would look like and what she thought, their lived experiences were, to kind of bring it back to life. And she does such a beautiful job of showing how these women contribute to feminism and how we have so much of these rights. Sure, it is a lot of, resistance and organizing and strategizing, but there are women who's just literally their lived experiences make the rest of our lives easier. But those women seem to always be the women who are always shitted on the most as well, and not just by men, by other women, Yeah. And I'm not even talking about pick-me's. We know pick-me's are going to do that. Like, we know pick-me's are going to do everything they can to shame other women because that's a part of their way of trying to gain acceptance. But I'm just talking about just like a regular conservative woman, For example, like when I was in my doctoral program, I felt like a lot of the women were looked down on me because I wouldn't show up as what a scholarly look would be like. And I think it even went as far as they didn't want me to have the letters in front of my name because they felt like if somebody like me has, a doctor in front of their name like them, then it brings them down in a way. And of course it's elitism, but I think it's a step further because it's like, you're a scholar. I expect you to have a little bit more critical thinking skills than the average person. And what I was doing when I was doing that, I was doing that intentionally. It's not because I don't know how to act. It's not like I don't know how to go into, institutions and behave professionally. I know what respectability politics look like. I know what they are, but to me, it was an intentional decision to go against that because I'm a refugee. My parents are both illiterate. When I wanted to do scholarly work, I didn't know anybody that looked like me. And even when I did find people that looked like me, they certainly didn't grow up like me. And they definitely, didn't come from that poverty. And I think, like I'm saying now, wayward women, their lived experience is knowledge. And they could be so valuable in the academy, like in departments, like disciplines like anthropology and sociology, just the way they live, because we need more of that thing. So I was like, how do I recruit those kind of women? Because nobody else is recruiting them, They're not being recruited. So I was like, hey, I'm going to make sure that my online presence is just, like every other girl, and then also show that I'm doing scholarly work so somebody can look at me and be like, okay, she's twerking and she's partying and she's dressed like this and she's getting her PhD. Maybe that's a space for me there. Because a lot of people feel like you got to be like Michelle Obama. You got to be buttoned down to even think that you could be that, What people don't understand is I'm met with violence for that, right? It's an act of service. And of course, it's only for a small intended audience. But the problem is it's being presented to the mass. So even though I do think that it did work, I've had young women who say to me like, oh shit, I want to get my doctorate, I want to do this, but I'm like, you can. And they see that, and I don't think they would have saw that. But the problem is I'm also met with all this violence. I tell people that I'm getting my doctorates and they're like, they won't believe it. Or they insult me for it. Or the people that are getting their doctorates don't want to associate with me or don't want to work with me. And I guess what I'm just trying to say is that like we all benefit from women who resist.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. The same way we benefit from people who like people that were in the LGBTQIA community that resisted and did what they need to do. Like women benefited from it, cishet men we all benefited from it. So yeah, absolutely. Anybody that fights against the status quo it's usually going to benefit the general population if they do so.
Yeah, like when you absolutely. Yeah, so like we'll see girls that like twerk out their content about their beauty and their ass shaking and stuff like that. And you'll just read the comments and it's like, you don't got nothing else going on. You're not this. Da, 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 da. I'm just like, if all she does is twerk 365, you're benefiting from it. It's work. It's activism. Yeah. It's also moving meditation, people. It's also, by the way, it's also moving meditation. But it's like, I want to know, like, what does it take to bring, and it was just MLK Day yesterday. So it's like, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So it's like, what do you think happens when you throw away a woman like that? Like, what do you think happens?
When you throw away what woman?
Like when we say, oh, all she does is twerk, and she doesn't deserve protection, all that stuff. When you decide to do that, you are contributing to people seeing women as like one-dimensional. We have to protect like the most vulnerable people. We have to protect the people who are doing that. To me, I'm not going to feel, because I could hide behind respectability politics. I really could, because of the work I've done and stuff like that. I could easily do that, and I could probably be protected with those things. But I choose to step out. I choose to step out and resist and speak in AAVE and do all the shit that they call ghetto or ratchet. Because to me, it's like, if the person that is ratchet, who is living in the hood, is not protected, then I'm not protected. I don't feel protected. But a lot of us want to elevate, and then we want to get to a status quo and be like, that's not my problem. But it will be one day.
Yeah, no, I hear exactly what you're saying. I definitely think that a lot of the women who you're talking about, I guess if I'm understanding correctly, when you say a wayward woman, you're saying wayward based on how society like classifies her, just like women that doesn't fit like the conventional.
Yes.
Yeah, so they don't fit into like this conventional box.
What I'm trying to basically, because respectability politics is a scam. It's a whole scam. They tell you that if you get a certain education and you talk a certain way and you dress a certain way and you behave a certain way, that you are going to get these protections. It's not true.
Yeah.
Those women are not protected. It's a guise. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of women are doing those things because they want those protections. A lot of women, like even the desire of being married, a lot of it is just to have some kind of status and protection in life. And what I'm saying is, divest from that and invest in those women, because they are the ones who are going to give you the protections. They are the ones that are going to help us get more rights. They are the ones who are going to expand the minds of others. They are the ones that are doing that.
So you're saying,
I want to see people divest from respectability politics. Yeah.
No, I was asking. So you're saying like, when you say don't invest in these women, what women are you talking about? The women that are invested in respectability politics, you're saying?
No, I'm not saying don't. I believe in investing in all women.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying that a lot of women invest in respectability politics, right? So a lot of women will be like, oh, I dress conservatively, and I'm married, and I don't do this, and I don't do that, and I work this job, and they think that those things are going to protect them from violences.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. And it does in some kind of ways, right?
Yeah.
At a certain level. But the truth is, the women who are really going to protect you to have more rights and to expand are those women. So we need to invest more in that woman. We need to encourage an OnlyFans girl, and we don't have to be like, oh, you're better than this. No, if she only did that, she is doing work. You know what I mean? If all she does is twerk online, she's doing work. She's showing that a woman can monetize it, live a good life. We need to start investing in women who are wayward women, like women who are not following the rules. You know what I mean? Instead of like, we need to like uplift them, but we act like they're like to the bottom of the society. And I think they're at the top. And I think the more you're divested from society, And, you know, everybody that's doing like those kind of jobs and all those kind of work, they are, you know, they're not considered, you know, part of polite society. Mm-hmm. Those are the most important people. The people who are going to make change, the people who are revolutionary, because they don't have nothing to lose yet, or they're people who are not living by society rules. Like most people who are getting their PhDs, I'm sure they're not going to risk their jobs. Mm. They're not going to say shit. Yeah. They're going to be quiet because they want their little plush life. Mm-hmm. But you know who's going to talk to their shit? That girl's working because she don't got nothing to lose and she's making her money. She don't have to say. She's going to speak up. Mm-hmm. She's going to show up. And just her lifestyle alone allows us to do more and do more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. So I would just, but like, how do we protect them online? Because they're the ones, we exploit them the most online. Mm-hmm. We exploit them the most, but they deserve the most protection. Mm-hmm. So what does that look like? Because I mean, obviously they're getting a lot of views because we like to see it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We like to see it. We enjoy it. You know, we do all of that. So if that's happening, nobody thinks that she deserves anything, and we get to exploit her even further. Yeah, I think I really truly believe that the reason why go ahead. No, I was saying I think there's a delay, by the way. You keep freezing too a little bit, but just so you know. I think that there's like, as far as protection is concerned, you know, I think the best way that for me going about, you know, offering protection is to not, I want men to not exploit them. You know what I'm saying? So it's less about like anything with them. Like I don't really approach them or, yeah. I mean, like when they, you know, whatever they say, that something happened to them, I go, okay, I believe it. You know what I mean? Like I believe them and all that stuff. But really for me, my approach is to talk to the men and be like, hey, maybe we should not be exploiting these women. Maybe we should treat them like human beings. You know, they're regular people. I don't know how in one breath you can bash a woman for doing OF or doing corn, but then at the same time consume it as much as we do as a society. It just doesn't make any sense. It's like talking shit about people who work in like hospitality industry or people who work in the fast food industry and be like, oh, that job is for dummies. But the whole time, if they weren't doing that, a lot of people wouldn't eat. You know, a lot of people wouldn't have access to food. A lot of people would go hungry some days or whatever if McDonald's wasn't open. You know what I'm saying? And if people wasn't in there flipping them burgers and dunking them fries and giving them milk, handing out the milkshakes and the McFlurries. But yet, you know, as a society, we'll turn around and be like, oh, those people don't deserve to make, you know, $30 an hour, $25 an hour, whatever. That's a job for kids, whatever. We demonize the job, right? And the people that work it. So I take the same approach to protecting. I won't call all the women SWs because a lot of them aren't like people that are women that are like twerking and shit online. I wouldn't consider them an SW, but you know, but definitely like OF girlies and stuff like that. My thing is like, you know, never demonize I'm my protection for them is like me not judging them, vilifying them, putting their choice of profession down, their career down, acting like it, you know what I'm saying, it's worthless and we don't need it and, you know, whatever. And then I just go and talk to other men and I'm like, hey, you know, I one of my appeals to them is you guys talk terribly about OF girlies, right? Then how about you guys, they are feeding a market, right? Like there's a market that exists and they are just, you know, providing a service because there are people who want that service. So yeah, like it's for you. Like you're the ones who are showing up, paying the money, clicking the videos, liking the video, you know, doing whatever. You know, you can simply just not do that. And then, you know, they wouldn't need to do that anymore. And then on top of that, though, it's too much. It's not just that.
we need to take a holistic approach, because then what are they going to do? Right? Because now it's like, all right, cool. So now no man watches corn and no man watches. Okay, cool. But now they still need to work. So now we got to get into, now we got to talk about capitalism now and get into like, hey, or we can just fight to make sure everybody has food, clothes, housing, cars, access to vehicles. I mean, college, education, whatever, healthcare. If we worked on that stuff, then you wouldn't see so many SWs, right? They wouldn't be forced to be in these industries.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are just like raised up to think that sex work is so disgusting. And if you ask them, like, what is so disgusting, what is so disturbing about it, they really don't have an answer. Because if you think about it, sex is just like any other action, like eating. It doesn't matter why you're eating. You might be eating because you're starving. You might be eating just for gluttony. You might be eating because, like, for health reasons. You might be eating for bulking. Sex is the same thing. Whether I'm having sex because I love somebody, or I'm doing it because, I'm, creating it, or if I'm getting paid for it, it's still the same action. So I don't know why it becomes an issue once the woman is getting paid for it. And that's really what it is. Men don't want women to monetize their bodies, because when male rappers rap about women and sex and stuff like that, you don't hear, nobody has a complaint. As soon as a female rapper talks about her body and stuff like that, they're like, oh, this is so bad for the young girls. What? It wasn't bad for the young girls when you were saying it? Because you can monetize our bodies. You can do that, but they can't. It's really it's really not even that anybody thinks that sex work is, SW work is an issue. I really think it's about trying to disempower women.
Well, yeah, that's
the real reason.
Yeah.
So I wonder why other women, so I get why men do it, because they're like, they don't want to pay for it. They want to be able to monetize it. They want to be able to control it so they can have access to it. But other women, very, very weird to me, because I'm like, girl, are you a virgin? Like, have you never? And like, what is the difference if you sleep with your husband every single night and she's sleeping with somebody every night for that? Y'all are doing the same exact thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's just an act.
But women are programmed too by the patriarchy as well. So it's not like they're, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they are
that's true.
exempt. They get propagandized just like we get propaganda. Or I won't say just like, but they get propagandized a lot like the way men get propagandized. So of course you have a bunch of women that's like, I judge her and whatever, and but yeah, I think that if we go back to your question as far as like what's bad about SW, the thing that's bad about sex work to me is the exploitation. It's the abuse. It's not the sex.
Is the exploitation because of the laws though? Because it's not legal, and that's where exploitation comes in. You think if it was legalized, would there still be exploitation?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The like I said, a huge reason why women get into SW is because of the lack of resources, right? Like it's not common that you find, women who grew up in healthy households and and they had access to resources and all of that stuff, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to be an SW. And it's not to say there's not any women who do that. Of course there are, but predominantly the women are ex-trafficked. The women are, taken from places where nobody cares, where nobody notices, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever. And they end up getting abused and they end up getting exploited. So I think the exploitation is the grossest, or whatever you want to say, but that's the bad part about SW, right? But I'm off, like, I don't care what people do as long as they want to do it, it's consensual and it doesn't hurt other people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what you do. I'm all for it, do your thing. But I don't think if you legalize it, it wouldn't be like the women still wouldn't be exploited, because we all workers are exploited.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter whether if you work I worked in the field. I was in sales. I was exploited in sales You know what I'm saying? Like it was well regulated. It doesn't matter. They're still going to get exploited. But anytime it's like that, the same thing. Like I could say that with like military people. I could say that with like athletes, especially like athletes that play like dangerous sports, like football players and hockey players and rugby. Like look at what they put their bodies on the line. Right. And they are super duper exploited. It's regulated and they make money and they get all the accolades and all that stuff. But like, those are for the players that rise above. But for every one Pat Mahomes, there are 10,000 young boys and girls who never made it. And they got all these injuries and nobody's paying their, you know what I'm saying? Like nobody's paying for their care moving forward. Nobody is worried about what happened to them afterwards because they were just so hyper fixated on this sport or whatever. Like we're all being exploited, but anytime your body is the product, you are going to be doubly exploited, right? Like when your body is the product, not to say your body is doing a task, but your body is the product. It's going to be like in this country, in capitalism, it will be exploited beyond measure, right? So my thing is, if you really want to stop that, you got to get to the root cause of it. There's ways that we could like kind of slow it down and kind of tweak the edges and all of that stuff. But if we were really like, we want to stop it, the only way to stop it is to get rid of capitalism. Like honestly, at the end of the day, like that's the only way to like, if we didn't live in a capitalist society, right? We lived in a moneyless, paperless, genderless, whatever society. I doubt SW will be like I don't think it would actually exist for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it would either. But like that's taking it. Well, let's talk about just the women who. Let's just talk about respectability politics. Women who live outside of respectability politics, and think the level of like of what I'm trying to say is like there's no protection for that kind of woman. If once you leave respectability politics, and I do think that it's respectability politics does not protect you either. But I do think that there's zero protection out there. But I do think a lot of people are doing that intentionally. I certainly am. You know what I mean? I made a conscious choice to be like, I'm going to live my life like outside of white supremacy and outside of patriarchy, and I don't care who it upsets. And it creates a built-in violence. I'm being bullied by men on a daily basis just for existing. And I always say that a lot of the reason why I got the kind of reaction that I got was because of the way I was living. You know what I mean? It was very much because of that. And it's still been a year and a half, and they can't stop. You know what I mean? Because in a way, and I don't know if you were here. I don't know if you heard a little bit earlier what we were talking about, but I was saying that in the time that happened in 2023, and especially towards the end, it was like the peak of the manosphere. Like I think that's when they were making the most money. That's when they were getting the most views and all of this stuff. And so we had a lot of power at that time. I don't think they're having that much power now. I don't really think they will be any. I think they're going to fall off.
Not even close.
You don't think so?
No. Nazism is on the. This dude was doing this last night. You think?
No, I'm not saying that people are not going to be misogynist. I think that their viewership and their shit. And you know what? Let me go on a tangent for a second. Don't you think it's freaking weird that that all of these social media platforms do not demonetize misogynistic work? Like there's all of these. If I do. Page, all I did is talk about that was an anti-Semitic, and all I did is talk about Jews negatively on my page, it would be gone in like a day. I did the same thing but there are all these men who have pages that are all just talking about women. I'm like, how does that even exist?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have 1 million views and your whole page is just putting out fake facts about women? Like, what the? Women are a group, an oppressed group, a marginalized group. I don't understand. It just never made sense to me.
Yeah, YouTube did it with a couple pages. It happens on TikTok a lot. TikTok is very sensitive. So everybody gets, everybody loses their platform.
Yeah, stupidest things,
yeah, everybody loses their platform on TikTok, I feel like. But yeah, they don't do that for misogynistic content, typically they don't. You're right. Like they let that shit slide. You like we talk about that.
There's a whole bunch of men. All they do is make these videos, and they're all like fake facts, fake stats, fake scenarios that are not even real, and that's just their whole page. That's all they do every day, all day. And I'm just like, how does this even exist? But I'm not saying there's definitely a resurgence of like there's going to be we're going to experience some of the worst isms this year. We know that. What I'm trying to say is that I think a lot of the viewership that they were getting was because a lot of people felt like, at the time it was kind of like, whoa, it was like rage thing. It's boring now. Like, how many times can you hear a man say, oh, baby mama don't deserve this? It's boring. Because they don't have much lingo. They don't have much to talk about. They just repeat each other's things. They just repeat the same things over and over again. But they all say the same thing. But
they exist as long as women, and others in marginalized groups resist. And women, as far as I know, it doesn't look like women are about to stop resisting anytime soon. So, every time women resist, the manosphere, they feed on that. They go, oh, women are doing this now. We need to talk about that. So that's what I do in reverse, right? Like I literally just whatever they're talking about, whatever they're saying, I just debunk it in real time. And they get like every week they got like a little tweak or a little, you know what I mean? Or I see something else and I'm like,
by the way, I love your work.
Thank you.
I appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you.
And that's the thing, as a woman, and I have a portfolio of women in gender studies. So I have a lot of information about this stuff, but it's not safe for me. Like the work that you do, if I did it, it wouldn't work. Like they don't want to hear that from me.
What'd you say? Who wouldn't want to hear that?
Well, one, I mean, those men are. I see some men on your panel, and I see the way you handle them. I can't handle.
Oh yeah, no, you can't talk to me. No, yeah, you can't.
I can't talk to.
Yeah, men don't listen to.
And the level of bullying that I will get, and the thing is, like, I'm not even as harsh. I literally don't even be talking about them. I be talking to women, and they come to my page, and they just get off. I'm like, so I'm not even able to do that work. So I really, really appreciate when men do that because, like I always say, white tea people need to talk to white tea people, and men need to talk to men because they receive it better from those people. My job is to talk to women, and that's what I'm asking of women. I'm asking women to start supporting the women that are living outside of patriarchy. I'm asking women to, like them, like their content, build them up, lift them up. That's what all I do is I just go on when I'm online. I'm just like to every woman I see that's like resisting just by existing. I'm just trying to, and I don't have to agree with what they're doing because I know that I benefit from their lifestyle. They're opening the minds of people, and I'm benefiting from it. Do I particularly care for that thing that they're doing? No, but I benefit from it. So I'm going to I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to comment on it. I'm going to protect her. I'm going to defend her. I'm going to do that. And that's what I think that women should do. We talk about decentering and we talk about this. We don't need to argue with the manosphere. They don't listen to us. We don't need to respond to them. You know what I mean? I have nothing to say to them. Of course, like when you go through what I went through, it's in the beginning, it's very overwhelming. You don't know what to do. It's a matrix. Like I really thought that I was defending my life and defending my character, and then I realized, who the fuck are these niggas? They are nobody. They're not people who have access to me in real life. They're not people who have, they're not in the career that I have. And the people that I really interact with in real life, and the places that I go, and the industries that I work in, and the institutions I work with, the men in those places don't act like that. They have real education, and they don't behave like that. I will never be around these kind of men. They're not real people. They can't really affect my life. And I feel like that's why they be crashing out. Like it's been a year and a half. Why are y'all still crashing out?
Oh no! The thing that I find funny about your situation is how I won't say everybody that is saying stuff, but specifically the men who are they try to whatever they with the whole story. They're like, oh, she lied, she did this, she did that, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
My thing is this. If you feel that way, that's how they feel, right? That's like you said, fuck them, that's how they feel, right? Cool. My problem the most with that is they don't really care though. Like they're not. Yeah, they're. It's not like
it's not a morality stance.
No,
because there are people who have done
worse. Actually done real shit. Like
people who one, they know I didn't do it. They've always known that I didn't do it from the beginning. Even before, the proof has come out, because now the video has come out, now the guy has admitted that he did it. Now even, everything has already been like proven that was all lies, right? So the proof is already out there now. So now they're just, them saying that is just like a smear campaign, hoping that. So but I believe that they always believe me. Obviously, when you see somebody in a hospital gown at the scene of the crime and then in the hospital, you know what happened. You know what I mean? So I don't think that they ever believed that. It was always about, exploiting me. And I think another thing that people have never considered is that I live in the intersection of very many margins, right? I'm Somali, so you had Somali Twitter. And then I'm Muslim, you had Muslim Twitter. And then you had, obviously, Black people, because I'm in conversation with Black people. And then you had all of these, and then queer people, and then all these people. You had all of these margins that never really interact together, all speaking at once because of the intersection that I live in. So it was getting a lot of buzz in a lot of different places, and people saw that and decided to exploit that. And because they see me as a person that they can discard, because again, I'm not living under respectability politics. It was easy. It's easy to discard a person like me, who's going to protect me. So that's really what it was, you know what I mean? So people were just exploiting me. I know that they don't believe it. They know for sure that they made those lies up. But the funny thing is they try to do it under the guise of morality. Like, oh no, she stole from people. You can't steal from anybody on GoFundMe. GoFundMe has a whole department where they give people their money back within a second. Like, it's impossible. It just does not make sense. And then also the other thing that they like to say is, oh my gosh, you created an issue between Black men and black women. Baby, misogyny has been here way before I was born, before my parents were born, before my grandparents were born. Like, that has been happening forever. You know what I mean? I don't know how my one isolated situation could be the reason why Black men, like, are you serious? And your guys' reaction is what is making Black women upset. Because they see how deplorable and vulgar and disgusting you guys are. That you guys would say, oh, you deserve it. Even till this day, and even, thanks to Dre, we're not seeing it, they're still putting bricks up. Do you think that me saying that I was hit is an issue, or the fact that you're allowing violence and that's why women don't like you? Yeah. Like, so they're just trying to create all these other things because the idea is to, create, they're just trying to enlist more people to hate me. Yeah. And then the more I survive and the more I, every time I survive or I accomplish something new, it makes them more upset, because nothing upsets people more than people who are trying to destroy you and then seeing you, thrive. Mm-hmm. So that's all it is. It's like they have been bullying me, and it's in real life and outside and online, and I'm doing well. Thanks to God and my community and all this stuff. And that's why they're mad. If I was destroyed and falling apart, they'd be fine. Yeah, they would like it. Definitely. They would be fine. They would be over it. But every time they see me, I'm shining. Yeah. And that's why they're really mad. But I'm never going to crash out. And I like to say, I'm never going to crash out over people that Harriet Tubman would have had to pew-pew. Mm-hmm. She would have just left them behind. She would have pew-pewed their asses. Like, I believe that these are the same people that would have infiltrated the Black Panther Party, would have showed up to all the free breakfasts, and then still infiltrated it and went to the FBI. The people that was, that's what they do. Their whole content is all about disruption and causing chaos, because they don't have anything else to offer. So I don't really worry about that. But it took me a while to get there, because of just in the moment that it was. And today, in my mindset today, I don't care. Because like I said, these are not people who are doing anything to, they're not in community with Black people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They're not helping us move forward. They don't do anything for themselves, because the best knowledge is self-knowledge. And they're not even willing to do the knowledge of self to figure out why they mad, why they sad, why they angry. You know what I mean? And they don't even realize that Black women are their best and biggest allies, even women like me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just my experience and the way I'm living my life helps Black men. You know what I mean? Too. It helps all Black people. So they don't get it. I'm not worried about you. I can't even worry about you. You're not interesting. You have nothing to add. And honestly, you're just a disruption. So I'm not going to do the work that I'm supposed to be doing. I would much rather be in conversation with men like you because we can actually unpack and do things. You know? Yeah. What do I get from arguing with him? Like, you don't even have a talking point. Truly, you don't even have the range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I experience a lot of that from, just from having having the discussions around the incident at the time. But I think ultimately the guys who are, who like, even to this day, like I said, like they get all mad and they be like, oh, you still like you said, it's a year and a half later and they're still using you as like this poster child for like, see, women be lying. And I'm like, that's so weird that like, if in between that year and a half, right, there have been 1,000 niggas caught lying that told way worse, you know what I'm saying? Like that did some really foul shit, hurt a lot of people, raped some people, hurt some baby, you know what I mean? Like done touched on some kids, like 1,000 niggas between then and now. And y'all still talking about this one woman. Like I don't like the false equivalency shit, right? Like I don't even need to argue on the basis of like, oh, this is real and this is like whatever you think, you got it, right? But like I said, my thing is, if that is what it is, right? If you're just like, nope, I'm calling a spade, I'm calling a liar, I'm exposing this person for hurting the community. Fine. That's what you think you got to do. But can you be consistent? Will you be consistent?
No.
Will you do it for anybody else? No? Okay, so you're only doing it conveniently with this one black woman. Okay, that's like you could say you justified in your hatred, right? You could say that. I'm saying like you could try to make that case to me, but all I would ask you is, like I said, I would go look on your page and see what else are you sharing. What are the conversations you're having? When I hear you, if I'm listening to you on lives, I'm listening to what you're saying. What are you reposting? What are you sharing? What are you liking? What are you like? I'm looking at all of that, and if all of that shit is rooted in the hatred of women and mainly black women specifically, then that tells me everything I need to know, regardless of whatever they feel about you and your story. Regardless of that, I'm saying you want to sell me on this idea that it wasn't about hating black women. It was about, oh, she's a liar. She manipulated. Fine.
And you know what the funny thing is? When you ask them, what did I lie about? They can't tell you. Like, because half of them are like, I hope you get hit with the brick again, liar. I'm like, so if I did get hit with the brick, how am I lying? Like, which one is it? Like, they don't make any sense. It's all a campaign. Because to them, they've done a lot of bad things to me, and a lot of them did scam. They did scam. They scammed their viewers. They scammed. They exploited me. They made a lot of money out of me, and a lot of them, the only way that they're going to win this battle, because it's still a battle, is if I crash out. If I give up on myself because I'm so distraught.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't know me. I'm a resilient woman. Like, I've been through worse. Mm-hmm. And then, or if somebody actually harms me. So that's their goal. Their goal is to hope that I hurt myself, or that they can enlist somebody to actually hurt me.
Yeah.
So that I cannot stand.
The police too.
And
they want the police to hurt you. Like that's what I'm saying. That shit is crazy.
The police do want to hurt me. The police do want to hurt me.
I know they do. Yeah.
And the police have been hurting me, and that's because, one, I've been making articles and speeches and arguments about defunding the police for 15 years. Mm. I'm sure no police likes me. Mm-hmm. And so I get that. But my whole thing is, they know that they did illegal shit to me. They did criminal stuff to me. Mm. You know what I mean? And the only way that I'm going to be able to expose them is, yes, the truth doesn't need defense, but it does need time and space. And there is bureaucracy in this country, so it takes time. You know what I mean? And I'm actually with my, the big prosecutor, the chief of the guy, he's the one that went on the news and was like, she's been scamming all
Yeah.
Because he never even looked at the indictment. He never looked. He just saw that it was a big story, and when the police that I have already been making complaints about, because she knows my assailants, they're friends. she should have been recused, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
He never, and she, the indictment doesn't even say a crime. It says she went to Jamaica. Bitch, I've been to Jamaica 20 times.
Yeah.
and the money was never even taken out of the GoFundMe account. So what are you talking about? But it was because like she was mad that she was saying that basically she was trying to say that I wasn't behaving like a victim because 5 months later I'm like at Jamaica. That's when she had to do that. And she was in the major assault unit. So she was supposed to take it to the theft department and they would have told her there ain't no crime here. But the whole indictment literally says she's buying necklaces, buying stuff that I already own, buying Balenciaga bags and taking trips to Jamaica. That's not a crime.
Yeah.
And that's not a theft. And it's like, it's stupid. But that chief went on the news and saw all of that and saw social media and said all this stuff. And then guess what? Came to court and said she put saline in her face. And when the evidence came out and they showed that I actually went to the hospital, I actually had injuries.
Wait, the police officer said that?
Not the police officer, the DA.
The DA, I'm saying. The DA said that?
He said that in our first court date.
Wow.
And then guess what? He backpedaled and pussy popped and gave it to another person. That person gave it to another person. And I went to court. I'm on my 5th prosecutor.
Wow.
No, nobody wanted. Now I have the baby. Like the guy who just joined the team. He hasn't even been a prosecutor for a year. And guess what? It's supposed to be a felony charge that's up to 10 years in prison. Guess what they offered me? First, they offered me 4 adjudication and 4 years of supervision. I said, hell no, I maintain my innocence. Yeah. Then they said, how about no? Then they said, how about no? They said, how about no? What you would call it? Supervision, just an adjudication. And then I said no to that. Then they said no. They basically offered me a sweetheart deal. Like now they're saying that they're only 2 years, no same or similar, and it goes away. Because they know they messed up. They know that. They listened to a psychotic girl that was just calling them and exploiting me, and they're trying to backpedal and pussy pop, and they can't. And if I wasn't a person who thought that this was a very important thing that needs to be exposed and to help other women, I would have just took it because I have a life too. I need to move on. I don't want to be in court every single fucking month. But no, I'm going to trial. And I said to them, I'm going to trial. That's all I'm going to do. I don't even want a dismissal. I want a trial. Because a dismissal, then what? Then you just move on? No. I want that officer on the stand. Yeah. And we want to know, why did you see a man hit me in a video and you called it mutual combat? Why did you go over your jurisdiction and put a theft there? What proof do you have of this? Why are you accusing me of a GoFundMe that I didn't even start when there was 5 GoFundMes that I reported to you that had nothing to do with me, and you ain't charged any of those people? You gotta do that. Then we gotta figure out why you ain't charged Olan. Do you know that his baby mama called the police 9 times and he's never been charged? Do you know that a woman charged him like a month before me for knowingly giving her STD and it didn't charge him? Why is he not being charged? You know what I mean? And how did he end up on the news the same day that this police puts a report out and then he's on the news? It was all like planned.
It was orchestrated.
Yeah, it was all orchestrated. And then they put a like they did a, like, what do they call it? I forgot what they call it. When you have to go look for the person. Dude, there was a police shootout in Houston that week at APD. There was a police shootout that weekend. And they're looking for me for GoFundMe. And everybody got their money back. They were trying to set me up to get unalive.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And then they doxed my address a whole bunch of times. So that's why a lot of this harassment is continuing, because they're like, damn, we because a lot of times when people dogpile on people, they do it because they want to be able to, they want to abuse without consequence. Yeah. So they know that if I endure it and I stick through it, that they're going to be exposed for what they did.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm gonna let it happen. That's why I said I ain't tripping. I stayed focused. I wrote my dissertation. I've been taking care of my baby. I've been doing my thing. I've been taking care of myself. And when it's time to sit in trial, I will be sitting there with a Tom Ford suit and a smile on my face, because no jury is going to convict me of that. You know, it doesn't make any sense.
You know what's wild is listening to people like vilify you, and then a lot of those same people believe Meg, and the stories are very similar to me in a lot of ways.
They're exactly the same.
Yeah, they're like really similar.
The difference is that, you know, she's famous and has resources.
Yeah.
And that's about it. The thing is, like Meg, just like Meg, men don't like women like Meg. They don't like women like me because when these men are constantly telling women, this is what you need to do to get a husband. This is what you need to do to do that. And women like me and Meg are like, no, we're going to live our own way.
Yeah.
We're going to
Meg poppin'.
dress how we want to dress. Yeah, we're going to do that. And that upsets them. And also, we're successful. I'm successful. I was on my page before this happened, being successful, having a great time, traveling the world. And, you know, that's what they didn't want. They're trying to convince women that women like me end up sad and lonely and depressed and have nothing. Mm-hmm. But that's not the truth. So that's really what it is. Like, they want to make when I believe that, you know, they want to erase me. That's why the first thing they did is get rid of my TikTok. You know, I woke up the next day, my TikTok was gone.
They wanted to suppress you.
If people would have saw my TikTok, they would have saw that, one, I defend men all the time, mm-hmm. Black men all the time. And they wanted to create their own story about me. Mm-hmm. So they wanted to erase who I was. And for a lot of them, they want to make sure that I have no past. And then they want to destroy my future so I can just live in this one place. Mm-hmm. And that one place is designed to be a subtle, it's not even subtle, it's an unsubtle warning to all gender oppressed women that if you speak up and have the audacity to live outside of the patriarchy, that you will be destroyed and you will be ritualistically maligned every single day. Mm-hmm. So you're going to fall in line. Yep. That's all it is. Yep. And I'm staying strong because I want to make sure I want to make sure that I win. Yeah. And hopefully inspire other women to come out, but also like put together some resources because there are set up resources for abusers.
Wait. Time out. I'm sorry. I just clocked this. Hold on. You're saying that out of all of this, you're the only person facing criminal charges, but the man who hit you isn't?
No. And the criminal charges make no sense. They're saying it's theft by deception. How is it theft when I went to the hospital, I was hit, he admitted it, it's on camera, and I didn't even create the GoFundMe. So my friend created it. She's not being charged, and she shouldn't be charged, by the way. But also, if you go on my Instagram, anybody go on my Instagram, I think it's around October or November, you can see that I show a bunch of GoFundMes that have nothing to do with me. And I say, please, you guys don't donate to these GoFundMes. I don't know these people. I don't know who they are. I reported it to the police and to GoFundMe, and none of those people are being charged.
Yeah, Robin, somebody asked, was it on camera? Yeah, it was on camera. I think the thing that they were trying to say, when you said, when they were like, oh, what did she lie about? The only thing that I heard them say was the dude actually didn't hit you in the face with a brick. That was the thing.
Yeah. Okay, so that is the thing. And that is true. So what the issue was that when he hit me, first of all, he choked me first with two hands. That's why I had fingerprints on my neck. Mm-hmm. And he actually almost punctured my trachea. Damn. So after that, I tried to run, and then I got hit. So to me,
you didn't know what it was.
You know, it's 4 a.m. It's super dark. I've been drinking since 8 p.m. Yep. You know, and I just got hit in the head. And the only thing that I saw, and if you guys remember the video, it looked like a box before it blew up. It literally was a box. I could show the picture. Like, it was like my face felt like a box. Yeah. And the only thing, it was a construction site. The only thing that was on the floor was a cinder blocks and like pieces of cinder blocks, like broken pieces. So that's what I assumed it was. But the thing is, as a major assaults unit police officer, you're supposed to be trauma informed. If I go and grape a woman and I use a dildo or a real, you know, and she says, I don't know which one, do we then now say put her in jail? No, it's like you have to be trauma informed. That's unprecedented. Everybody knows that somebody who has experienced trauma might not remember the details. Yeah, might not know the weapon. That's not a crime.
It's not.
So she couldn't charge me with that because that's not a crime. So she went and tried to look for something else, and because they were trying to bring me down, but instead I got all A's and took myself to Jamaica. They wanted to punish me for speaking out, punish me for criticizing the police, punish me because I reported her, and it was retribution. So that's what she did. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm not worried because when I go into court, all you have to do is bring one therapist, and they will be like, no, that's impossible for a person who has a head injury and is drinking to know what happened. And everybody knows that. Like, everybody knows that. Like, it takes, I'm still remembering things now, like a year later, little bits, because I, block it out. It's not my job to figure out the stuff. You had a camera.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You had witnesses.
What did he?
Together.
What did he hit you with? Was it like a bottle?
So guess what? He said, "Oh, it was a reaction." But it can't be a reaction because two things. One, you choked me first, and then you hit me. So that's not a reaction. But two, he said that inside of his jacket pocket, he had a bottle of liquor.
That's what I said. A glass bottle.
No, it was a liquor bottle. It was thick ass liquor bottle.
I know. I said a glass bottle.
Liquor bottle.
Yeah.
He took that. Does that sound like somebody that's making a response? No, you're thinking about it. If you reach for a weapon and you take it out and you go hit somebody, that's not an accident. That's exactly what I thought it was. That's crazy.
Yeah. Because people were saying a water bottle, I was like, no, water bottle wouldn't do that either. I think it was a glass bottle.
The police officer said that because she was trying to protect her friend. So, and that's another thing. People are like, oh, shoot, why do y'all trust the police now? Every time a black man's in trouble, it's never trust the police. But y'all trust the police when they talk about black women?
Oh, I don't never trust the police. That's what I was, bro. I swear to, that's another thing I was saying. I was like, wait, y'all sitting here believing police officers about, like, I was like, and I'm not saying I dismiss every police officer, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, same shit with Meg. Like, I don't give in all honesty, I'm going to believe the victim the majority of the time. B, the especially when it's this like a man and a woman, right? A man and a woman, right?
Yeah.
Domestic violence.
And she decided to call it mutual combat. How was it mutual combat? Because what happened is the reason why the fight started was because my friend was talking to his friend, and I didn't like him, and he just kept trying to get my number, trying to get my Instagram. And I think that I hurt his feelings. At one point, he had shown me his Instagram, and it was a bunch of pictures of him on like a jet, and it was AI. I'm not stupid, so I said, "Is that AI?" He got super angry. I've been on a jet since I was 6, and he is rich. His dad owns one of the biggest mega churches in Houston, and they know the police. On their website is a picture of them with a bunch of officers. Mm-hmm. So they have their connections and whatever.
That's what I heard about him too. Yeah.
Yeah, he got all mad about that. And you know what? If I was in my right mind, and if I wasn't with my friend who was visiting me for the weekend, I probably would have not talked to him. But you know how girls are. Like, your friend's talking to somebody, you'll just be around. Mm-hmm. So when they went to the car and I followed behind, I was like, "Where are we going?" And he was like, "We're going to an after party." And I'm confused because we're at an after party. And he took my hand and put it over his.
Yeah.
And I then freaked out, rushed out of the car. And I don't remember if I hit him or not, but they said that I did.
You hit him, yeah, whatever. Let's say you hit him.
Yeah, but who cares?
Who cares, yeah.
I'm well within my rights.
Yeah, that's sexual assault, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But his rejection caused him to, one, try to choke me. I feel like he's trying to unalive me. And then hit me with a bottle.
That's the easiest way for men to unalive a woman is by throttling her. You know what's crazy?
Yeah,
hearing this.
And then I went live because I'm a person with my own PTSD and my own childhood trauma and my own shit, and I have been essayed many times. So I freaked out, and because I always heard there's a lot of human trafficking in Houston, I just, at the time, I'm not able to intellectualize it. I was just like, I couldn't imagine how it escalated to that.
Yeah.
Like, I just didn't understand what I did. So to me, I started screaming like, "Oh my God, are they trying to take me?" And that's why I went live. I didn't go live to be nefarious. I didn't go live to make black men look bad. And honestly, the one statement that they're so mad about is that I said, "Look at these black men. They're not helping me because they did not react to me. They did not offer me any kind of help or any kind of It was a true statement. It was an observation, and it was true. Did it hurt their feelings? Sure. But that's the problem with these men, these particular type of men, is that, like, there's harm, and then there's your feelings being hurt. Your feelings being hurt are never over harm. I was hit in the head, and I'm dealing with real trauma, and you are trying to censor, "Why did you say that? They were watching you." Because they were. It was an observation.
Yeah.
And if you see yourself as a collective, all black men don't represent each other. Like, that's not how I see you, brother. You know what I mean? I love you. I love my community. I don't see all black men as one group. That's the white imagination. That's a white tea imagination. Mm-hmm. The white tea imagination decides, oh, one black brother did this. Oh, you coming into my store and you're black, I should be scared. That's how they treat you. Mm-hmm. I don't treat you like that. I treat you like individual people. You know what I mean? And my own people. So when I say a statement like, why are these men watching me? I meant, why are those men watching me? I didn't mean, why does collectively black men not do shit?
Yeah.
Where is the grace for a woman who just got hit over the head? That's all they made the focus about. They made the whole focus about, she said this about a man. And that's what they're angry about. And it's just like,
yeah. Well, they weren't angry. That's what I'm like when I observed everything, and I remember going through it in real time. And here's another thing too. I think it's funny because from the very beginning, I was like, I just was tripped out by the response.
It was nasty.
It was just weird. I was like, this is crazy.
So and then the funniest part to me, and somebody just said it, Monique, thank you for bringing this up, and this is important. I'm being called a liar, but then all of these known liars are coming out in the interim, and nobody cares. Like, there was that guy that was in a whole other state in Tennessee that was like, I was there. She's a troublemaker. And his girlfriend was like, are you serious? He lives in Tennessee. Well, he don't even live here.
I'll be right back. I gotta get my charger.
Okay. Got you. Yeah, when they say like, oh, I caused problems between black men. No, their response did. Their response was so nasty, so vicious. If I was a woman, I wouldn't want to be around men for a while either. It wasn't a water bottle. I was not hit by a water bottle because guess what, you guys? I still have a big mark. I still have a bump. It's been a year and a half and I still have a bump. You know, and I have neurological issues and I have a concussion. Like, this is real shit. And
this dude didn't even get. And this is what I'm saying. Like
he did not only get in trouble. He goes on the news because they were working all together, right? You know, the police and all of them were working together to try to demonize me. He goes on the news and he's like, she was so drunk and so belligerent in the club. So then you took me to your car to take me to an after party? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, there was no critique for him. The critiques were so much on me and none on him. First of all, he is a scammer. He has 3 PP loans. I did an investigation on him. I spent my own money to do it. You know what I mean? I was like, he got 3 PP loans. He really scammed the government. Yeah. And then he owes $80,000 in child support. He really scammed his own children. You know what I mean? He has his fake credit company. I don't think he does any of that work. And then he shows up on YouTube with like 6 women behind him, and he's like, do I look like I get rejected? No, you look like a PIMP, and that's what you really do for a living. And your brother has been arrested for the same thing. So it's just like, dude, nobody is going to look at that person and critique him at all.
That's
for me, I came here as a refugee. I worked my way through my life. I put myself through college. The only one in my family that has a high school graduate. The only one in my family that went to college. Both my parents are illiterate. Work fucking 3 jobs. Do I look like I'm money hungry? I chose to be a teacher, and then I go to graduate school. I not only have I not scammed anybody, I've never stolen anything in my life. You know what I mean? I've been working since I was 14 years old, and I'm so giving. If you look at my GoFundMe history, I don't have GoFundMe. I donate to GoFundMe. 53 to be exact. I am that person. I'm a community person. It's just so weird because I've never been one of the girls that are like, get to the bag, get to the bag. I've always lived my purpose and always cared about that more. You know, but they get rid of my TikTok so nobody could see the kind of work that I do and who I really was. You know what I mean? So they could create their own narrative about me. But the funny thing that I thought was so funny, and somebody had brought it up, thank you. Some guy comes out from Tennessee, and it was like, I was there, and she's a troublemaker, and she's a known troublemaker. I lived in Houston for 19 days at that point. That was like my second time out. So I don't know how I'm a known troublemaker. But guess what? His girlfriend comes out, and she's like, he lives in Tennessee, and he was with me that night.
Yeah, no, I saw that.
Yes. So he's a liar. Why is he not being attacked for being a liar?
Yeah, none of the every.
And then this nurse comes out and she's like, oh, I could say she got some saline from me. First of all, if I got some saline from you, you should lose your license and you should be in trouble for HIPAA law and you need to go to jail. Nobody's after her. Then there was the guy who was like, she had a toothache and I know about it and somebody called me. Then he comes out and snitches on himself and says, I made that up. Because how do you find out if the person's lying? You add more lies.
Yeah.
Use your brain. Like, what? But it's like, if lying was an issue, why are all those people able to lie and nobody cares?
Because it was never about, like I said, that's why I don't take anybody that be when we talk about this situation, right? Like I've been saying this whole time, whatever people think, I'm not here to convince people. I'm not here to be like, Ro didn't. I don't. Yeah, I know. You just saying whatever happened. I got it. I know. But I'm saying like I don't like. I'm over that, and you are too. You know what I'm saying? Like we're over that. I'm just. I saw everything that was said to combat what you were saying. That shit made no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, that shit don't make sense, right? And here's what I mean. This might just be like my ability, like my power of discernment, you want to say or whatever, but just using my critical thinking, right? First and foremost, just right off the rip, y'all be in this space every day with me, right? These people, they rock with me all the time. We talk about how the likelihood that a woman is going to come forth and say a man did something to her and it not be true is very, very unlikely. Like it is not common. It's really not. It ain't a bunch of women out here lying about being choked.
Especially black women.
Especially black women. Yeah.
Because police do not cooperate with us.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, especially black women, right? That flies in the face of logic. Then all of this like elaborate fucking like, oh, you got somebody to inject saline and like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? That shit don't make sense, right? All it is.
It was Tyler Perry movie shit. And then even if the police officer's theory that she said like the deception, you know what she's accusing me of? She's accusing me of not only being a psychic, she's also accusing me of being like a social media expert. So she's trying to say that I purposely started a fight, you know, in the middle of the night while I'm drunk at 4 a.m, and then I knew to go live, and then I had the power to know that it was gonna go viral. Like I know what goes viral. Yeah. Like I don't know what goes viral.
You were drunk making videos. That's what I looked. That's how I looked. I was like, she was faded making videos. Y'all were here talking about at 4 a.m. This woman coming out the club faded. She had the wherewithal to like trick this man into hitting her and then getting her camera out, walking past some niggas, being like, these niggas not helping me. Put saline in her, like the shit is dumb.
And then also have the psychic knowing that it's gonna go viral. And then know, because you know you can put a GoFundMe out and it could be $6.
Yeah.
Like, how was I supposed to know? Like, I could have put a GoFundMe out. My sister actually passed away with 5 children, left 5 children behind. She didn't get shit for her GoFundMe. So in my head, I didn't think I was going to get anything for my GoFundMe. Matter of fact, my friend who made my GoFundMe, she reached out to me, but I'm sick. Like, I'm waking up and I'm taking pain pills and I'm going right back to bed. Mm-hmm. And I'm overwhelmed because my phone is blowing up. I didn't respond to her. By the time I responded to her, there was already $25,000. And I was shocked by that because I've never received that kind of level of thing. I'm like, do y'all really think that, like, if the police had something, because they're making up all these things, if there was like a text message that said, "Oh, let's scam," like first of all, Tyler Perry wouldn't even write this script because it's too ridiculous for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And 2, I'm not a psychic. And 3, it's just impossible. Just say you hate me. Just say that you hate me because I'm outspoken and I don't follow some of y'all rules, and that's cool. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you, bro. Wait, real quick. The thing that blows my mind, though, I expected this from the men. I expected this. I expect them to never concede. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to be like that. And also to be fair, they lack critical thinking abilities. You know what I'm saying? So for them to figure it out would be wild. But I don't expect that from them. It's when I'm talking to people that be talking to me every day and they hear the shit that I'm saying, they in here, they like, yeah, probably da-da-da, I like your content. And then they're like, oh, this Ro lady lying. And I'm like, how do are you not like, what do you think is going on here? Like you could think what I really like to say, this is what I'm saying. I don't want to act like what I'm saying is I believe you personally. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying like I don't want to be the person that's like everything she's saying is like I don't, you know what I mean? Whatever, right? I believe you. If somebody else don't want to believe you, fine. That's on them. But all I'm asking y'all to do is, let's say, Ro, you didn't tell the truth about this. Okay, cool. But then what about that nigga though? That's all I'm saying. Is like, can we talk about that nigga who hit her in the face? It's on video. He hit her in the face. Right? Okay, cool.
And went to another party afterwards.
And went to another party. He hit her in the face. He went. I heard him say it multiple times, but the first time I heard him say it was on Clubhouse, and he admitted it. He said he hit you. So I'm sitting there going, what? Where is the right off of that alone? Y'all gonna say she lied. You want to say she lied. So now you lying about the material she was hit with. Oh, she wasn't hit with a brick. So what? She was hit in the face. She was hit in the face by this man who openly said he hit her in the face.
Do you have children?
Yeah, I got 2 kids.
Yeah, so if your kid called you on the phone one day and he's like, Dad, I got hit with a brick, you know, and da-da-da-da. And then you show up and then you find out it wasn't a brick.
I don't give a fuck.
Like, oh, you know what? Okay.
Why'd you lie to me?
You lied to me. Come on. Like, nobody would do that. Like, come on, it doesn't matter. And the truth is, if you have any understanding of psychological and trauma, it takes a long time to figure out all of these things. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It little by little, I started to remember more and more and more and more. Mm-hmm. And you also have to remember that it's compounded by going viral. It was compounded by being bullied every day. It was compounded by losing my anonymity. So I couldn't even focus on what happened that night because I was putting out fires every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People burned my car. People came to my house. People called my job. People did a lot.
What happened to him? Did any of that happen to him?
No.
Okay.
No, he's a hero. He's happy.
That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm just.
He's partying. He's chilling. And, you know, this is not a person. And then this is the thing. I'm a person who has a doctorate in Black studies. Like, I love us. I protested for us. I've advocated for us. I've showed up for us. And this man doesn't even take care of his kids. Are you kidding me? Like, who y'all gonna choose?
If we're doing a character analysis, let's say it's a court, because this is a public court of law, right? If we're doing a public character analysis of this person versus you, that's what I'm saying. There are so many things that don't add up about him, but I'm not hearing the same vitriol that you're getting. All I'm saying is what I'm saying. I just want to be fair. Fuck it. Y'all don't like Roshila. Cool. Well, but why don't y'all have that same smoke for him? Y'all saying that he didn't lie about nothing? You saying everything he said lined up and it didn't. He lied about a bunch of shit. What are y'all talking about? What, like nothing hurt? If how did your car get burned?
AI photos, and that's why he's so mad because he got called out on his AI photos because he wanted to pretend like he was on jets. You know what I mean? He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a liar. He's a scammer. But like you were saying, this story is similar to Meg. So the 2 lies that they had about her was, one, she, at the time of the scene, she said it was blast because she was trying to protect herself, which makes total sense. It's 2020. It's, you know.
Meg quote unquote lied about several things. She lied about several things in there. None of them had anything to do with her being assaulted, though. None of them had anything to do with her being assaulted.
Yeah, but it's like, one, she said at the time, oh, it was blast to the police. I can understand that. She's afraid. She's afraid. She's a Black woman. She, you know, there's helicopters, all of that. She don't want nobody to get shot. She was still doing that. Second, who cares who she slept with? Nobody should be asked on daytime TV who they slept with. That's weird.
That's crazy.
And unprecedented. And so it's like, everybody kept saying she was a liar. Tory Lane lied. He made lots of lies. Nobody called him a liar.
Nobody called Tory Lanez a liar.
Yep. And then you take Meg, and then you take Tory, and you use another character analysis. Who looks like a bad guy? Like Tory has done. He's chased people down the highway. He's beat up women in apartment buildings. He's jumped on men. He's beat up fans. Like he has done so many things.
Same type of shit.
Meg is literally the hot girl coach. She comes and gives good vibes. She comes into this place. She puts a smile on her face, and she shows everybody a good time. Yep.
He literally had Tory had an illegal weapon from he's not American, right? He's not from the U.S. He had a weapon in California. Is tough. Like to have that ain't easy. He had an illegal firearm in the state of California, right? He has been violent against women before. Like there is so much evidence against him as his character is in question. That's all I'm saying.
And we're demonizing Meg over stupid things when she literally, her whole brand is about bringing joy.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Like, her brand is going somewhere, having fun. Like, she's a good vibe. Like, even recently, because I just can't stand, like, they were like, oh, Megan Thee Stallion and Winnie Harlow got in an argument. I was like, well, Winnie Harlow is, I know she's beloved, but like, and they were saying, like, we know Meg started it. She's an aggressive person. She's a drunk. Where is that drunk, aggressive person? Because every time I've seen Meg, she's smiling, having a good time, and showing people a good time.
Yeah.
And pouring drinks down people's throat. It's just crazy. You're mad at Megan for who she is and what she represents. You're mad at me for who I am and what I represent. You're mad because I don't need the acceptance of men. You're mad because I decenter men. You're mad because you have no access to me. Mm-hmm. And these men have no access to me. They will never get a response from me. And I'm actually able to, that's why they're mad. White people, and that's another thing, is like and another thing is like living in the intersectionality of all these margins also makes me a target for all these stuff, because even though I'm Somali, a bunch of Somali people are upset with me for not upholding the culture, having a baby outside of Somali culture. Mm-hmm. So they have their own gripe with me. And then being a Muslim, having tattoos, dressing the way I dress, they have their own gripe with me.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And then African Americans feel like, you're not black and you're speaking up for all these things. They have their own, xenophobia against me. There's not everyone, but there's some xenophobia.
I did hear somebody saying that she wasn't black. I was like, who is black?
A lot of people have been saying that. You go on my TikTok right now, I'm darker than most people. I'm on the dark.
They say I'm light skinned, so don't pay attention to me.
Yeah, I made a whole video about Somalis, and I've seen the rhetoric, are Somalis black? Yes, they are black, and I have a video.
Somalis are black.
Go on my Instagram. If you want to go on my TikTok, I explain it very well. I do the whole historical thing about it. And then, then people were mad at me because I stand up for the trans community. So, another thing they like to do is call me trans. Even though, like, first of all, trans are the most high-femme people ever. So it's like, okay, thank you. You're calling me a high-femme beautiful girl. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? So it's like, so basically all of these communities had their own gripe with me and had their own issues with me. And they decided that this was the moment where they could dogpile on me. And they could all punish me. And they could all, humble me and put me in my place and all of this stuff. And I know that I present very strong, but it's like, I've been through a lot, so it's like, I don't really... and in a lot of ways, I'm happier that this happens to me than to another person, because one, I do have experience with this. I left home at 16 because I had to look at my own family, my own culture, my own community, and my own religion, and literally be exiled. Mm-hmm. And then they made a bunch of rumors about me. Like I was a whore and I was all these things. And the way that I combated that was I ignored them and I focused on my education, and I came out successful, and now they can't do nothing. So I just realized I just have to do that again here. I just got to move forward. But the moment I decide to try to defend myself, which is a normal human response in the beginning, is very overwhelming. And I was doing that, and I feel like they took a lot of my life, because I was spending all this time trying to defend, and I forgot. I'm like, my content has become just arguing with idiots who don't have the range. This is ridiculous. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
Not too much.
Back to doing the work.
Not too much. That's what that's my life's work, bro. Not too much. Okay.
No, but you're the right person to do it.
Yeah.
I actually I listen to your lives a lot. Mm-hmm. Like I'll come on TikTok and you're always one of the first people that pop up to me. So I did that. And one time it was actually funny. I was listening to your live and then somebody had said something about believing women and they were like, not that brick lady. And you were like, don't disrespect. I was like, damn, how did I come in this conversation?
You always come up. You the same. I'm telling you, they gonna be talking about you in 5 years because they only got one case that they could pull up and be like,
it's not going to happen in 5 years because, like I said, I'm not going to. They want to dismiss the case, and I told them I will not.
It don't matter what you do, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
No, but guess what?
You could win. They could come out and apologize. They gonna still say you lying. They gonna still trust. They doing it right now. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about nothing. They in here like, oh, gee, you entertaining a liar? Like what?
What happens when I go to trial? Because when there's before the trial, people are just making up stories and they're throwing up all these lies. What happens in a trial is that you're gonna have to actually hear the police officer.
Bro,
you're gonna have to actually hear the police officer.
I want to tell you this. I'm sorry. I gotta tell you something for real, for real. I know you gonna win. I'm all for all of that. I just want to tell. These niggas ain't never gonna change their stance. It is not about that. It's not about right and wrong. It's not. All they needed. Like that woman who wrote the article, the one woman that found all the dirt and all of that shit over there. That's what she does. She's a panderer. The one girl that I don't know.
I'm not gonna say her name, but guess what? That's another thing. She's actually going to be charged. And you can charge me, but you can't convict me because I didn't do anything. But guess what? When she gets charged, she's actually going to be convicted of fraud because she actually committed fraud and she put her own proof up by herself. Like she showed it every day. And of course, I screenshotted everything. So I'm like, it's so funny. What are you going to do? Because she's actually going to go to jail. She's actually going to be convicted.
That would be crazy.
Because what she did was actual criminal. I'm sorry, but she literally.
That would be like really like but it don't. Yeah, but they won't care.
She literally committed crimes. She created fake documents. Mm-hmm. She submitted it to the police. She made fake police reports. That is actually
about you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she made documents.
Wait, is she charged with something right now? Is she already charged?
No, but I don't want to say too
much. Okay, no, you ain't got to say. All right, I just was wondering if she was charged. Okay.
Okay. But no. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big because it's not only me. She's done it to several people. I'm just the one that she got her claim to fame. I'm her claim to fame, right? Like,
I know. That's all I never knew her before you. And then people was like, oh, that's that one girl that do X, Y, and Z. Then I looked her up and I was like, oh, this is what she does.
Do you know how funny it is? You know how people do an anniversary of like their birthday, their graduation, or something? She made an anniversary of 2024. It was like September 3rd, Rhoda did this and I did this. Oh, that was her claim to fame. I was like, oh my God. How sad can your life be if your biggest accomplishment is trying to destroy another
tearing somebody down? Wow.
And I'm not teared down because while you were talking shit and doing all of that, I was getting my doctorate. And I really truly do feel like I have grown spiritually. I learned who my real friends are. There's a lot of great lessons that you learn in moments like this. I used to martyr myself. There's just so much I've learned, and I'm better off with my purpose. I know who loves me. I know who don't love me. It's been a great experience for me. The hardest thing is that you have to endure this pain in the meantime. But I'm in a mental space now where I'm like, hey, I'm back on my A game. I'm back on my own stuff, and I know I'm gonna win. And I'm not only gonna win, I'm going to seek retribution.
Shit!
From everyone.
Hey,
from everyone.
I hope you get all of that. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I believed you the whole time. I don't know about nobody, you know what I'm saying, about a lot of other people. I believed you the whole time. I never switched up personally. I don't care. And I've said it once and I say it again. I will never, ever, ever be ashamed. Or the thing about protecting victims is this. Protecting survivors and victims is this. Even if you end up being wrong, you ain't got nothing to apologize for because I'll do it again. Like if another woman tomorrow do the same shit, I'm gonna do the same shit all over again because guess what? A, odds are I'm right? Odds are she's telling the truth. And B, fuck that dude. He be all right. Obviously it don't affect that be that shit. Oh, what about the fake accusations? And you see how they tear men down and they don't. What does that do? He living his best life. You the one that got your car burned down. You're the one who's getting unalive threats. You're the one who people are trying to take to court into. That's happening to you.
I lost my savings through this. I've had to go to my child savings through this. Wow. I'm paying lawyer fees. I can't work. I can't do anything. I lost my anonymity. I can't. I'm having lunch with my son, and people are like, "Can you tell me what happened that day?" I'm like, wow. Do you want to talk about your worst day, your trauma? It's horrible. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's the thing. I'm being taken to court, but I'm the only victim. I'm the only one that has experienced harm.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who has lost money. I'm the only one who has experienced physical, mental, and spiritual harm. Tell me one other victim in this situation.
I've never seen that. Whoa, I've seen victims. Sorry.
No, I'm not saying that in this situation.
In this situation, nobody else. Yeah, it's only you. Yeah, it's only you.
I'm the victim.
Yeah.
She not one. Oh yeah. By the way, in the state of Texas, you can the victims crime unit pays for any medical bills for anybody who has who's a victim of a crime. That same officer called the victims crime unit and said I was never assaulted. So I have over $100,000 worth of medical bills now. See,
hold on, wait. Just shit like that. So people talking about motive. Is that not a motive for them to not pursue the case?
Oh, they don't want to pursue the case, but that's the problem. They went on the news and they did all this. I told you it went from the chief.
Yeah.
If you remember him on the news.
Yeah.
And now I have this like 24-year-old kid who you can tell doesn't try to. He offered me every deal.
He don't know. He just trying to get something to stick. Yeah.
No, he literally told me you don't have to plead guilty. Mm-hmm. You won't get no probation. You just don't have to do the same thing, no same or similar for 6 months. Anybody would take that because they just want to move on with their life. But I'm not doing this for me. I can move on with my life no matter what. Because like I said, my industry and the people I work with, they believe me 100%. They're like, fight this fight. But I'm still getting whatever. But the thing is, they're afraid that I'm going to come after them because they can't just dismiss it because they know what they did to me. So me, I'm like, no. I think it's time for them to be embarrassed. I think it's time for them to go on the stand. And I think it's time for them to speak out. Because guess what? It's impossible to convict me. I don't care who you are. There's no way a jury is going to say, oh, yeah, all of this happened to you and you got beat up, but you didn't know that it was the weapon of choice. Doesn't matter. Nobody cares. That's not a crime.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the police care about that. Yeah. I don't think the police care about that. But everything I read, I don't think they were ever harping on that. Like, it wasn't even a brick. It was a bot. Like, you got hit in the face. That's on the thing. The only thing that they did was they justified it or they attempted to. That's all they did. They never said, oh, she never was struck. They said, oh, she was struck, but she hit him inside the car. You can see it happen right here. You can't see nothing. It's like, you just see like emotion. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like you said, fuck it. You hit him.
How do you know what happened in the car when you didn't question him? You didn't bring in him. You didn't question my friend that was there. You didn't question the security guard outside. Because I kept calling people like, are they not questioning you? Because I was trying to figure out what was going on. She didn't question anybody. Mm-hmm. She called me 5 days after it happened, and I told her, I'm still on medication. Give me another 5 days. And when she finally called me, and I have it on audio, Drea, who's doing the moderator, she's heard the audio. I think she played it before. This is our conversation. Why is everybody calling you a liar? Why every day on social media? She didn't even want to talk about what happened. All she wanted to talk about was social media.
Who was that?
The officer.
The officer. Uh-huh.
She called me. That happened September 3rd. She called me 5 days later. I told her, like, I can't talk. I'm still, like, really medicated. So on the 18th, I finally talked to her, and she never even asked me about what happened. All she wanted to know was why are people calling me a liar? Why don't people believe me? I'm like, who cares about social media? I'm like, people believe that the earth is flat on social media. Who cares? And the argument escalated. And then, she kept telling me, like, you were belligerent in the webcam, on the body cam. And I said, okay, just give me a second. Yeah, so she was like, you were belligerent on the body cam. I was like, ma'am, I just got hit with a brick. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, again, that's not a crime. Like, why do you care? Like, and then she was like, well, you were screaming and you were saying that, like, you thought you were going to be, everything was focused on, like, what I did. Nothing was focused on me getting hit. Mm-hmm. So finally, I'm like, ma'am, I need to talk to somebody else because you're not, you're not listening to me.
By the way, this sounds regular.
She never called me again.
Mm-hmm.
She would never answer my phone calls again. I wrote an email to her boss. And I'll post that on my TikTok after that. I wrote a scathing email saying, like, and then guess what? I added all of the proof. I said, here's my hospital. These are the photos of my injury. Here's the hospital thing. Here's a video of him confessing because I had the Clubhouse. My friend Marion gave it to me, so I had that. I gave her all the evidence and then complained about her. Nothing happened, and then I continued to complain about her, but she wouldn't talk. She wouldn't respond to me. But guess who she was responding to? That crazy woman that you were saying that that's what she does. They were having TikTok calls every single day.
Wow.
This woman who doesn't even live in the state wasn't even there, has nothing to do with it, and is talking to Olan. And then the day that I got charged, finally, she brags about it and says that she's the reason I got charged. And her and Olan and the police do a YouTube celebration about my charge.
That's weird.
Yeah, so it's just like that's why they have to bully me, because I have to like be done for them to like get away with what they did.
It's a 20v1 at this point.
Yeah, so it's like, it's all good. Like, you got the right one, because I'm resilient. So I'm like, I'm a journalist and I'm a researcher. I have a Google file, I mean, Excel spreadsheet, everything is categorized, and maybe everybody is going to be called out for what they did. Because dogpiling is all about hiding. It's about abusing people while hiding. Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna hide. I want everybody's gonna know what you did, because what they did was actually criminal. What they did was actually vile. What they did was actually malicious. And all of this because y'all don't like me. And guess what? I don't care to be likable.
Wait. I want to be clear. It's bigger than that based on what you just told me. That's what I'm saying. The police have a real reason to not go forward with charges, right? They also have the connection with the church and the da-da-da-da-da. Olan, obviously he don't want to go to jail. And then other people want to make a name off of your name. Like, it ain't just the... I think it's you. Yeah, I can hear yours is choppy. Yeah. But I think, at the end of the day, I think that's what it's not just so much like everybody hates Roe. It ain't that. They all have different, it's like it's a whodunit. It's like Clue, right? And then you're just trying to figure out like what are the motives of every individual involved, because they all have different motives. It ain't just I don't like Roe. Like, it's not that. It's way deeper. I'm sure they don't like you now, but that wasn't what it was initially. It was, like I said, for the police, like, I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't want to pay that money. We got to hush her up. Oh, then they see they see what you're saying. If you're a community organizer, okay, we want to make, punish her. There was all of these ulterior motives when you actually start peeling it back. And then when I look at you, I'm like, what is your motive? You did all of this for $20,000? Like, let them, you know what I'm saying? Like, let them tell it. You did all of it. You put your life on the line. You put your baby's life on the line. You put your family's life on the line for $25,000. Like, y'all gotta, like, this shit gotta make sense.
I could have made a GoFundMe and got $20.
Yeah.
It's up or down. But that's the funny thing. It's like, you look at all the work I've ever done. Obviously, I'm not chasing a check. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I've been a teacher. I worked in high school. I've always worked in service, like, of the community. I never made a lot of money. Clearly, I'm not a person that's like chasing money. But also, it was my last year. Of my doctorate. I'm not going to spend all that year. Are we both copy?
No, you're just breaking up, bro.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah, it's just you. It might be your Bluetooth, but I don't know. But it's all good anyway, though. I'm about to have to go in a minute. I got to go in a minute anyway, though, because I got to get my kids ready for bed and stuff. I got to get them ready for school. Can you hear me? She froze now. But yeah, I think it's the AirPods.
Okay. Yeah, we good now?
There you go. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to let you know I have to go.
Okay.
I got to go in like 2-3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I got to go put my babies in the bed and get them ready for school.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Yep.
I think it was a great conversation. But yeah. What I was saying is, remind me what I was saying. My whole thing is, that there's a everybody had a vested interest in me, and like I make a joke and say there was a Rhoda economy. They lied against me, but they're so mad about me.
Bro, you're still freezing, bro. Really bad. You're still freezing really bad. Yeah. It's breaking up. Yeah. It's terrible. Yeah. I thought it was your Bluetooth. It worked for like a second, but it's talk.
I took out the headphones.
Yeah, it wasn't the Bluetooth. It might be the Wi-Fi. That's good. You sound good now, but that's what you sounded like before too. Sound good.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So my whole thing was all like, for me, the idea that I would try to, first of all, I'm so tired of the whole GoFundMe
narrative.
What they call themselves, GoFundMe hunters, who are like, this GoFundMe is fake. GoFundMe is $1 billion company. It has insurances, and it also have a department where they pay people, like actual professionals, to see if the documents are real. I gave the necessary documents for GoFundMe, so they don't need you. And they're always coming after people with are low income, because they're trying to stop people from organizing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's all it is.
Yep.
Because guess what? Derek, that guy who just killed a black man,
unalived.
I'm sorry,
you good.
Unalived. I have been off of social media.
You all good.
Unalived that black man on the subway in New York. Mm-hmm. If you guys are black men who care about black men's well-being, he unalived a mentally ill black man on the subway.
That white teammate.
Yeah, and he got $3 million on GoFundMe.
Yep.
Silence.
Yep.
Derek Chauvin, unalived, George Floyd, got $250,000.
Yep.
Silence. Trayvon Martin, Zimmerman. He got $1 million. $1 million. These people are getting money for unaliving us, and you guys are silent.
Talking about
don't say a word. Yeah. But me, a single mother who's in school, who needs to take care of my child and still needs to finish my degree, a degree that I'm using to protect other black people. You're mad that I can't even pay half of my medical bills? Do you think I'm gonna get rich off of $42,000? Are you dumb? Like, my hospital bills are over $100,000. Like, what was that gonna do for my life? You know what I mean? Like, it's just so ridiculous. All of this is like so ridiculous, and like everybody has a vested interest. Everybody made a lot of money off of me. Yeah. Whole economy, people, even the guy that went on the news, he was up for election, and that's why he did that.
Yeah. That's what it was, all political kabuki theater. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like
political theater and all this bullcrap. And I'm just here taking the L's, and it's important for me to know that, like, I've already overcome so much in my life, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to overcome this one, and hopefully I'll be able to expose a lot of things. But mostly, there's already an organization and an activism for abusers. Every time an abuser is caught for being an abuser, whether it's Diddy or an unknown person, a drove of people come out and defend them. And
yes.
All these people. Yeah. So we need to create that for victims, and that's what I want to do, and that's the work I'm working on now.
Yep. That's what's up, bro. So best of luck to you. Already know. Much love. I hope I keep us up, keep me up to date. I definitely want to know what's going on. And I think, like, I believe in you. Like, I think you're gonna get everything that you are shooting to get done. I think all those people are gonna get exposed and all of that stuff. So I'm just really hoping for you. But I don't care one way or the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe it. So that's, for me, that's all that matters. I don't care if you don't, whoever don't believe it and they mad or whatever, you could be mad, but I believe it. And I just want you to, be happy and don't let it stop you. Ain't been letting it stop you. So keep it up.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you.
And I just appreciate you as a person in general.
You too. I appreciate you, Ro. Have a good night.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
I'm gonna stay on for a little bit. You can go.
Okay. Let me figure this out. I don't even know how to do this. Let me see. Let me see how do you disconnect it?
I think you just hit the top button on the circle with the line on the top.
Nah, that's just gonna end my live.
That's gonna end your live, but I can still stay on, right?
Yeah, but we could just disconnect. Hold on.
Oh, I can just start another live?
No. We can just disconnect and your live will keep going. And my live, yeah. I got it. Some millennial, that was some elder millennial shit right there. That was some elder millennial shit, man. I've disconnected it before. I just couldn't figure it out, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Rodo, man. I know she gonna do her thing. Yep. I know a lot of the people was mad. Y'all was in there bitter, punching the air, sliding down the pink ball, but that's on y'all. I think that shit is mad weird. I think it's mad weird. I will never understand that shit. I will never understand. I never understood it. I always thought it was crazy from the first day how y'all was treating that woman. From the first day, I was always like, why would y'all, like, this is such a weird reaction to this. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then I didn't even know. Like, I just made some videos and I just had like a genuine reaction to it. And then fast forward a year and a half later, here we are. And, you know, she's gone through like all of this and nothing has happened to the man that hit her in the face, that I heard openly admit to hitting her in the face right around the time it happened. You know, like nothing happened. Like, I'm not understanding. The credibility ain't there. Talking about, oh, she's a liar. She's a scammer. Who did she scam? Where's the scam at? I never saw it. I never saw the proof of the scam. It seems like you guys just believed whatever somebody said about her. That's what it seems like. It seems like you guys just believe whatever somebody said about her. That's what it seems like. Nope, she's fighting it right now, apparently. Almost done. It seems like y'all wanted to believe in the sensationalism and you bought into it and you don't want to go back. And here's what I'm telling you. You never, ever, ever have to apologize for protecting or defending victims and survivors. I will never apologize to you niggas. Even if, I don't care if tomorrow everything turned out to be a scam and all of that shit was right. Why would I apologize? I don't give a fuck. That's not the same thing as y'all attacking a victim or attacking a fuck. You see what I'm saying? It's not the same thing. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. I don't need to apologize to the man that got accused. I don't need to apologize to the fucking police. I don't need to apologize to nobody. If tomorrow everything y'all wildest dreams came true and everything she said was a lie, fine. Fine. I'll do the same shit the next day. I'll do the same thing the very next day. I'll do the same shit the next day. The next day. I have no shame in that. You want me to be like ashamed of defending a victim, or what the fuck? Y'all are so fucking lost. That's crazy. Crazy. Wicked. That shit is wild to me. There's a weirdo in here. Am I tripping? Where all the weirdos at? Unmute all the weirdos. I want to hear them. Please unmute all the weirdos. I want to read. Let me read, man. Let's unmute all the weirdos. I don't see nobody. Where they at? Dan was muted. Oh man. Let's see. Oh, Dan not gonna come up. You can Dan don't allow you to request up, so you can't. I'm gonna mute Dan. You can come up, Dan, if you want to. You yapping. Yep, I believe. Nope. See, Dan, you stupid. See? He is saying he will believe any claim just because a woman makes it. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I said I would believe a victim or a survivor. That could be a man, a woman, or a child, and everything in between. I said I would believe a survivor and a victim. I would believe a man if a man said that another man assaulted. I would believe the man. I would ride for him too. If a child came forward and said that they was assaulted by another child or an adult, I would believe them. To like, what the fuck are you talking about? I said I believe victims, and you turned it into women because that's what you want to hear. This is not a gender discussion at this point, because the truth of the matter is if a man comes forward and says that he was SA'd, the likelihood that he's lying is exponentially low. The same as a woman, the same as a child. That's what I know about victims and survivors. So why would it change because it's a woman? It don't matter. Anybody that says when what's his name, when Buff Terry Crews came out and said that he was, assaulted SA by a man, I believed him. I believed him. I didn't say, oh no, get that out of here. Why? What were you wearing, Terry Crews? I was like, damn, that's fucking disgusting. Holly weirdos. Like, I instantly started talking shit about the dude who did it. Instantly. I didn't say, why you didn't punch him? Why you didn't drop him on his head? Oh, it's a lie. I didn't say none of that shit. I said, damn, that's fucked up. That dude who did that is terrible. I'm consistent, baby. I am consistent. Why are my nails painted? Because I want them to be. Because I can afford to paint. I don't know where Rail is. Y'all can find Rail. Invite Rail up. I see y'all responded to him. I ain't found him yet. They don't ever want to come up. They like yapping. See, I stand on mine. I stand on mine. I don't lie. I don't, you know what I mean? My fans is top tier. Yep, they released the footage from the club. The dude smacked her in the face with what I thought was, and she said this what she thought too. It was a bottle, and that's what I thought. I was like, oh, I think he hit her in the face with a bottle of alcohol. That's what I thought. I think I said it in a live or something like that. I'm pretty sure I said it. It's documented. I was like, I think he hit her in the face with a bottle. But you know what I'm saying? That's what it seemed like. Because I'm like, why would your face swell up like that? That don't make no, you know what I'm saying? With a water bottle? I was like, ain't no water bottle. He hit her in the face with a glass bottle. For sure, for sure. And she said, yep, it was a glass bottle. He also throttled her. Are you serious? How are you defending a man that throttles a woman? Even if he hit her. Even if she hit him, I'm saying, in the car. Whatever. Choking her? That's automatically that's attempted, unaliving. Automatically. You choke somebody, you're trying to unalive them. In my mind. You choke somebody, you automatically trying to unalive them. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's done. It's done. Because they hit you? A woman? Oh, yeah, you tripping. You wilding. You are wilding. Like shaking the baby. Very similar. Very similar. Y'all didn't want to hear all of that. Y'all didn't want to hear her talk about how that lady got caught up in so many lies. You didn't want to hear about how that nigga owe money on his child support. Y'all not going to investigate that. If that woman who told that story about Roe was doing real work, she would have dug up dirt. She would have looked at him too. She would have looked at both of them objectively. But she's a fucking grifter. She panders to men, right? That's what she does. All her stories are like that. She's what's that lady? Oh man. Dana Dane. She Dana Dane. Everything she says is all of her stories are, oh, we gotta hold these women accountable for lying. And it's like, they not fucking lying. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, got another one. Like, please stop. Stop. Dante, you invited Dana. Still ain't picked. That's exactly how that shit goes. And that shit is see? That shit is dangerous. That shit is dangerous. Don't matter who it is, man or woman. If a victim comes forward and somebody tries to discredit them, you could be anybody. That's dangerous, man. That's not okay. That is crazy. That is wicked work. Wicked work. Like, you put that woman's life on the line. You put her baby's life on the line. Like, what? All for some clout? All for some clout. Even if she did, even if she lied, I'm saying, look at what you did. That shit is crazy. Look at what you did. The juice wasn't worth the squeeze. Oh yeah, they ain't gonna never. They will never believe Roe. They invested too much in the lie. They was look, man. This is how I know y'all some fucking liars. Anybody that don't believe Roe, when the shit first happened, y'all said that she injected saline in her face. Then it came out that she didn't inject saline. Y'all never said. Here's what I'm saying. Y'all never said, "Oh, damn, okay, I got that wrong. My bad." Y'all never said that. Y'all just pivoted to something else, right? You pivoted to something else. You look for the next thing. You look for the next thing. You look for the next thing, and you lash on. And that woman, she saw that there was an outpouring of men who wanted to discredit Roe and bash her and abuse her online and in real life, right? She saw that and she said, all I need to do is give them something. All I need to do is give them something to latch onto. And then and then that woman gave them something to latch onto, and that was all you niggas needed. That was all y'all needed. You guys ain't reconvened, went, circle back, looked at nothing else since then. Y'all seen that story. You took that story at face value. The shit Rose said, you scrutinized, you picked it apart. But that woman's story, you took it at face value. Even with the video, even with the man and Minnie did it, y'all didn't concede to none of that. Y'all was saying that she literally never got hit. That was another lie y'all told. She never got hit. He admitted to hitting her. You never came back. You never came back and said, all right, well, he did hit her. Okay. Her face swole up. Oh, she didn't get hit with a brick. It was fake. That was saline. Come to find out it wasn't saline. She actually had swelling. It's in the medical report. You never came back. Then you was making all these excuses. Oh, she ain't even black. She Eritrean. Oh, she Ethiopian. Oh, she da-da-da-da. Oh, da-da-da-da. And then you just kept lying until you found something. All you needed was something, and that woman and the police helped you. They gave you the thing you needed, and you believed it. You believe the fucking police. That's how I know y'all dumb. Y'all listen to y'all listen to cops. Cops, police, C. Dave. Y'all listen to C. Dave. Crazy. I don't gotta know Roe from a can of paint. I would never believe the police over a black woman. That shit, that shit is damn near, that's fucking crazy. That don't even make sense. Not in these types of cases. The police? The cops? Y'all crazy as fuck. Y'all crazy as fuck. And then but then turn around, y'all be the first one talking about we gotta protect the black man cause the police. Look, man, y'all be wanting me to believe that it was a whole conspiracy to get the black man out the home just by offering a check and some housing to black women, right? They did all of this. You want me to believe all of that? You want me to fight against the system, to punish the system? You want me to believe that the only reason y'all sold that my daddy and some of y'all daddies and uncles and grandfathers was selling moving weight in the 80s was because they didn't have no other way out and the white man set them up, right? Y'all want me to believe all of that. But then These are the same motherfuckers. I want y'all to know these are the same motherfuckers. These are the same motherfuckers that won't tell us what happened to MLK Jr. That this is the same apparatus. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This is the same apparatus that's been operating the same in this country for 150, 200 years, right? Fast forward to today, you want me to believe them over fuck black, white, it don't, a citizen? I'll even boil it down. And I'm trying to tell y'all how bad their credibility is. A citizen, just a working class person. You give me any working class person versus these motherfuckers, I'm more than likely running with the working class person. Let alone you add black to it. Oh, yeah. Woman? Oh, my God. Yeah. What the fuck? I would never. I wouldn't. You would have to get Roe to openly admit that she lied. Then I believe it. Then I believe she lied. If she ever comes out one day and says, I lied about everything, okay, I believe it. I will never believe these motherfuckers, though. Never. Y'all are crazy. Y'all really are on fucking spice and dust. Y'all smoking some wild shit. Put that shit down.
Yeah, she definitely didn't lie in public.
I know she didn't lie.
You know, like from the very beginning, so like I had initially reached out to her, I want to say like maybe 2 weeks or maybe a week after the incident happened. And I felt kind of bad because, you know, when we had our first phone call, like anybody else, I asked lots of questions, and I almost felt like I was an interrogator type thing, but it was to get the timeline of everything that happened, you know, all those things like that. And I mean, I talked to the person that Olin had the interview with on Clubhouse. I talked to him on the back end. I still have his contact information. We could talk at any point. I've talked to her friends. I've talked to, and then I also have videos of him admitting things on there. I have videos of him having a fake thing to make himself look like he's big down there. I have all those videos saved in my storage. Okay. I have her freaking medical records, which is insane. You know, I'm a nurse. So that was kind of my angle, right? I'm an ER nurse. I know all the documents that we do. I know all the blood tests that we do. Anything that's related to any type of trauma related or assault, I know our steps. Okay, I know we do CAT scans. I know we do urine, drug screens. We do all kinds of stuff. Okay, given like what was happening at the medical records. Oh yeah, she was E2A or she was intoxicated, which was true. That was accurate. And then the swelling on her face, all these things. We have the different narratives that were painted, that there was saline in the face, which I've never seen in my entire life saline be put in somebody's face, okay? We had that she had a botched Botox job. Then there was this mysterious nurse that popped out of nowhere that we don't know the nurse's name, but all we have is just a message that she wrote to somebody that said, oh, I was the nurse that did this. But guess what? That guy, I still have the video of him too, recanting and saying, oh yeah, I made that all up. Okay, I have all these people coming back and saying, I lied, I made this up, I lied, I made it up. So it's like, I don't understand, like, what, I mean, this girl has produced medical records to the whole world for what? For scrutiny, all these things. And nobody could ever come back with a good enough rebuttal to say, no, this didn't happen. The guy freaking admitted that he actually assaulted her.
Yeah. Like, that in and of itself should be good enough. Just that alone. That's dead. We good. We gone from there, right? But nope, not that. Like what?
It's incredible. Like incredible how much information there is that I have, like, or that she even has, obviously too, that I looked into myself. I was, you know, questioning every single thing just to make sure that if I'm gonna like vouch for somebody, that and I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna say, oh yeah, they're credible, then I have to believe it myself, right? And so I literally did that every step of the way. She has not changed her story from the beginning. Like, we had our very first conversation till now. She hasn't changed her story. The thing with the brick, she said that it was initially, she said she used the word brick but she also, in our conversation, had used the word cinder block because there was a construction site. She said that from the very beginning, okay? And I know with trauma, whenever somebody gets assaulted and they're intoxicated, their memory isn't sharp, right? Yeah. I mean, and so there's all kinds of things that have happened along the way that I'm like, okay, there's no way, like, she's lying. This would be the most elaborate. This is a PhD student, okay, or PhD candidate, okay. She's very well educated. She's been on tons of podcasts. She's been in New York. She's well cultured. She's Somali. I mean, there's so much about her that is like, you know, like you hear the way she talks. You know, she knows her shit. So it's like for this person to lie about all these things, it's like it's insane.
It's wicked. It don't make it. It never added up. It still don't add up. And the more it plays out, the more she comes out looking like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything she said was true.
Oh, I can't wait till she writes a book on this. This is going to be like when you see everything in the timeline and everything put together, it's going to, and I think what happened a lot of times is that people, they took one piece of thing, the GoFundMe angle. You know, they took that and tried to run with that. But when she actually disproved it, they didn't come back with anything. There was no proof. Like
they just kept no. They just kept saying it though. It was disproven. They just kept saying, "Oh, she was scamming." Like was somebody in my comments, "Oh, she a scammer." I'm like, she didn't get any money. What are you talking about?
She never got any money.
She never got a dime. Like y'all gotta, man. That shit is crazy.
She never got a dime from it. I talked to her on the back end about that every step of the way. Did you ever get any money from it? Nope. She never got a dime from it. Not one dime.
Wicked work.
Not one dime of the $20,000 or however much it was. Not one penny of that. She never actually got it. It was never in her bank account.
Yep. But they don't care though. That's how I know they don't care about the truth.
Yeah. And then Olen's dad, he's a rich pastor in Houston. I mean, man, there's so much. It's so much. Like
so many layers.
She writes about it though. So.
Yeah, but hey, we did it.
Nice.
You know, I'm glad we had the conversation. I didn't really even expect to talk about it, but I'm glad we did though, because I never personally talked to her about it one-on-one.
Yeah,
so that was good. That was cathartic for me. Because, and not to say like I don't give a fuck, but like I caught hella shit for you know, making videos and you know, speaking out or whatever against it and talking about it or whatever. I remember some dude, I made a video and I just like somebody sent me the video and was like, hey, it was on YouTube though. It was like, you know how people take shit from YouTube or take shit from TikTok, put on YouTube. And this dude was like talking crazy. He was like, this dude doesn't look like he would do anything. And I was gonna go live about, I think I ended up going live about him. Like I found his picture and I like showed, and I was like, this, like, what the fuck? This dude was projecting hard. But yeah, it was weird. It was a weird time for sure.
Records of stuff. He has, I mean, he did a PPP loan. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Like if you look in his background, and his dealing with other women too as well. She even talked to his ex before. She's in contact with his ex. Like there's so many different things here that maybe people didn't remember. And they just only thought was like, oh, this is the one that scammed. This is the one that whatever. But they don't actually know themselves. They just heard from somebody, so they're repeating, like you said, like a parent. And so that's all that's going on. And so, you know, but I'm telling you, public, you're on the right side of things.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I would not be vouching for her if I believed any different. If I wasn't there every step of like every detail and I questioned every single thing, I would not be where I'm at in believing her. I wouldn't.
Yeah. And the craziest thing is, I don't need all of that to believe victims. I don't even need all of that. All you gotta do is say it. I'm examining, give it a quick once over, and then we good. Yep. Hey, I'm rocking with the yep.
I know.
Let's ride for this. Like, what are y'all like? This shit ain't difficult, man. Damn. The people getting accused, they will be okay, y'all. If it comes out that they didn't do it, they'll be fine. Their lives are not gonna be, they'll be fine the vast majority of the time. They'll be fine. I'm not like, let's be for real though. Like y'all are tripping. There's no perfect system here, right? So if I got to choose the lesser of two evils, one of them is way less. One of them is way more likely to be true. One of them is way less evil. So I'm gonna ride. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna go with the victims. It's easy. With the alleged victims, whatever you want to say, I'm gonna ride with them. Because I'm going, if you have to bet, if you had to bet, it's almost a guaranteed dub. It's almost guaranteed. Almost every single time somebody says, this person essayed me, this man beat me, this man, you know what I'm saying? This man solicited, he quid pro quo offered me smacks for a movie. 99% of the time, it's the fucking truth. Just know that. So I'm good. We're straight. I got it. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want to believe. Y'all can believe whatever y'all want to believe. I never heard her, Ray Riz. Just so you know, I never heard her.
Are you on YouTube also?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I followed you on there too.
Thanks.
But yeah, so I just, man, and what is it, 2025? So what? That was, man, I can't believe how long it's been since that happened. But yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like even in our comments, I mean, I've never moderated so much in the comment section. I was muting and blocking so much.
Right now?
Yeah, and when she kept, in her live, I was muting and blocking left and right. Like it's just crazy.
Yep. They hate her like white tea people hate Martin Luther King. Like it's wild.
Yeah.
Y'all.
I mean, people have knocked on her door. She's gotten death threats. Unalive threats. Mm-hmm. She's gotten all kinds of stuff. Like she'll be, like texting in the middle of the night or calling them, and there's all kinds of stuff going on at her house. Like there's footage on ring cameras from her neighbor of people showing up at her door. It's just is
that happening to Olin? No, exactly. That's my point. So why everybody up there when they always talk about like, well, what about she should be thrown under the prison if she lied? And I'm like, why? Nothing ever happens to those people. Nobody is giving that. Nobody is off threatening to unalive that man. Nobody is knocking on his door. Nobody is following him. Nobody is throwing pies at him when he comes out of work. Like he is fine. He's okay, man. Jesus Christ. That shit is not, it's really easy. I'm telling you, it's really easy. But hey, I'm about to go.
But yeah, all right, Paul. I appreciate you though.
No problem. You know what it is. We out of this thing. All right, Dre. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all rocking with us. It was good times. Bonji Baby said, let's go, ER nurse. Although I can never, I see you all the way. Appreciate y'all. That was good, man. Good times. I will catch up with y'all mañana.